So the next question is for Jay Orr, the Code Enforcement Director. Who will handle code enforcement for Eastern Wildomar in the 3rd District? But you might want to talk about code in general.
We'll come to, we have a 3rd District office, which includes Wildomar. We have about 200 and some cases in Wildomar right now. And we'll be working those cases up until that year and trying to make a transition. We'll be making a transition to the city. Of course, the city has an option of having our own code enforcement group. We can contract out privately, we can contract with the county. So there's a variety of options, but we'll continue that year time period. We do contract with one city right now, Desert Hot Springs, talking to another, so there's that option as well.
Thank you. The next one is, how will this change our mellow roofs? It's not really a finance expert, but I don't think there's much change in that. I don't anticipate there to be a change. I don't believe there's any change at all in the mellow roofs. That would still remain there. But it does bring up the issue of CSAs and other things. So maybe somebody from EDA, Deanna or Suzanne might want to talk about the status of those type of arrangements we have here.
Well, the county has a couple of county service areas that provide streetlights. Those will be transferring to the city. The taxes that are being paid will go to the city. The city will be responsible for those services. We also have a landscape maintenance district that pays for recreation and parks maintenance for the 3 parks that are located in the city of Wildomar. Those parks will be transferring to the city along with the landscape maintenance district responsibilities. The county will continue to operate our parks and recreation program, and we already have a slate set forward for this summer. We have some flyers here so you can see some of the dates that we will be offering recreation services at the parks, but those will come under the new city council's purview, and after the initial year, they will be fully directing what happens there.
Thank you very much. This next question is for transportation, and it would be for Juan Perez, our transportation director. And the question is about a specific issue, but it might be good to expand a little bit about transportation issues in general. The question is, the farm in Wildomar, what is the status of the traffic signal light at Harvest Way and Bundy Canyon Road, which was ordered 1 year ago?
Yes, good evening. First of all, pleasure to be out here again. I've been out here many an evening, many a Saturday afternoon also, so it's nice to see a lot of familiar faces. The signal at the farm, it's been a long time coming, unfortunately too long. Our delay has been that we received, the good news, we received the federal grant to pay for the signal, about $300,000, so a lot of money we didn't want to pass up. Unfortunately, with the grant, with federal money comes a lot of strings that we have to go through to build it. And those strings are things that we normally wouldn't have to encounter if we were just doing this as a county signal. Let me give you an example, and I know it may be a little bit hard to believe, but it's the reality of the situation. We are required to do cultural studies to make sure that there aren't any archaeological, significant sites in the area where the signal poles that are really no bigger than I am are going to be going into the ground. So there's many studies that we're having to do to get to the point of actually awarding, actually going out to bid with a contract and awarding a signal. As we stand here today, we have gone through a series of reviews with Caltrans, with the state, that administers the signal funds for the federal government. We expect to be out to bid, I would say, within about 60 days. And believe me, I'd much rather be here telling you it's going to be sooner than that. Once we start the bidding process, it takes about 3 months. We have to advertise it, get contractors a chance to bid, go to the board, award it, get bonds in place. So my hope and what we're pushing hard on is that I would say before the end of the summer, the signal will be under construction. We've actually ordered the equipment already, so we don't have any delays on that. So as soon as we can, probably within about a month and a half of construction, the signal will be operational. So It is a need, and we're pushing on it. And fortunately, the good news was the outside funding, but it did bring some strings attached with it that are making it take longer than we'd like.
So the next, there's several questions that revolve around planning and building and safety and the processes that work there. And there's 3 people here from the county that handle that. Nick Anderson is the building safety director. He handles the inspections and things along that line. Captain Gifford handles the counter services where people take their plans and information. And then Ron Goldman is the person that handles the actual planning. So the questions are all basically the same. They want to know how will that process work? Where will people go for counter services? What will happen in terms of processing the plans that are currently in the works right now? What will happen to those if they extend beyond the July 1st deadline? Questions related to that. So I don't know how you want to handle that. Maybe so Nick Anderson, our building safety director.
Good evening, Nick Anderson from Building and Safety. Well, basically, for the time being, we will provide the service. We do have 3 offices, of course. We have downtown Riverside, we have our office in Los Alamos, and Indio. And you can go to either one of those, or any one of the 3, to get permits. Basically, what we look at is we issue permits, and for installations of water heaters and room additions, we will be the office for us to get together. We look at plans and issue permits and then provide inspection. So that's on a smaller scale. Ron Goldman, the planning department, will discuss the larger issues with plot plans and so on. So we will be providing the service all the way through, well, up to July and past July, unless we have another agreement with the city. And then at that time, we'll make decisions of how we will continue to provide the service on contract, or the city may wish to go ahead and obtain the services of a consultant, or even provide the services themselves. And if there's any questions, if not, then I'll turn it over to Ron.
Good evening, everyone. We've done an analysis of the projects that are currently in the city limits of Wildomar, and we have roughly 400 planning cases that are currently in the county being processed in one state or another. Some of those are minor type applications, a lot line adjustment or setback adjustment. Some are pretty major in terms of what they're proposing. The Walmart comes to mind, and Bundy Canyon 915, for example. We will continue to process those applications through till June 30th, and as of July 1st, as you heard, the City Council will take over. We haven't have a definitive plan at this time. We will continue on in the role of planning after July 1st. If that's the case, we'll continue to present those cases through the Planning Commission and the City Council of Wildomar. So at this point in time, we're continuing to process applications that are in the city limits through our Planning Commission, through our Board of Supervisors, up through June 30th.
Can we have somebody from the council address that question about they see that going after July 1? Thank you.